welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty significant out of Leipzig, Germany. Porsche just unveiled their fourth-generation Cayenne, the E-Fort, and it's a big one.
It really is a major statement.
Yeah, I mean, think back to 2002, the original Cayenne. The big shock then was just Porsche making an SUV.
Exactly, a sports car company branching out like that.
But now, the surprise is that this new one, it's launching only as an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
No gasoline option, at least for now.
Which is a huge strategic bet, and it sets up, a really interesting challenge for them.
Right.
How do you take this hugely successful model, make it electric, and not just match the old one, but actually elevate it? We're talking new platforms, new motors.
Yeah.
Making a 2.5-ton SUV perform like a supercar.
That's the mission then, to figure out the tech that makes that leap possible.
That's exactly what we need to unpack, how they pulled this off.
Okay, let's kick things off with performance. Because the claims are, well, they're bold. They're calling it the strongest Porsche in history.
Which is saying something, especially for an SUV. But the numbers seem to back it up. We're talking over 1,000 horsepower, officially stated as over 1,000 HEP.
Wow.
And some rumors, internal whispers, are even putting it closer to 1,100.
1,100 horsepower in a Cayenne. Okay, but it's not just a peak number.
Right.
Delivering that kind of power consistently.
That's the real engineering puzzle. It's a massive thermal management issue. You need cooling systems, usually reserved for dedicated race cars, but in something you can drive every day.
And the torque.
Equally huge. They're reporting 1,500 Newton meters. 1,500.
Okay, so what does that actually do? How does that translate to acceleration?
It translates into some, frankly, alarming numbers. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. They're saying under 3 seconds, probably in the 2-something range.
2-something seconds in an SUV.
Yeah. And maybe even more impressive for something this heavy, 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in under 8 seconds.
That's hypercar territory.
It absolutely is. And to get there, they couldn't just, grab parts off the shelf. This required a whole new platform, brand new motor designs, especially that rear motor. It's bespoke for this vehicle.
Okay, so they've cracked the power delivery. But immense power needs immense energy replenishment. Downtime kills the experience.
Which brings us to the charging architecture, and this is key. It's an 800-volt system.
Right, double the usual 400 volts you see in most EVs.
Exactly, and that's the game changer. It allows for much faster charging because you can handle more power without generating excessive heat. That's how they can charge that massive battery so quickly.
And the battery's massive, right? What's the capacity?
It's 113 kilowatt hours. Huge. And that gives it a very competitive range. They're claiming over 600 kilometers on a charge.
Over 600 kilometers.
Yeah.
And the charging speed with that 800-volt system?
It's seriously fast.
Yeah.
The claim is 10% to 80% charge in about 16 minutes.
16 minutes. That makes long trips feel much more feasible.
Definitely minimizes the hassle. But the charging story gets even more interesting when you look at recuperation.
Getting energy back when slowing down.
Yes, and they've pulled technology directly from their Formula E program. This Cayenne can recuperate energy at up to 600 kilowatts. 600
kilowatts. That sounds enormous. What does that mean in practice?
Well, the headline claim is that it allows the car to capture back 97% of the braking energy just through the electric motors without even needing the physical brakes in many situations.
97%?
Yeah.
Just by lifting off the accelerator?
Under the right conditions, yes. Obviously, a panic stop is different, but for normal deceleration, it's incredibly efficient. Think about what that means for brake wear.
Yeah, you'd barely use your brake pads. Could change brake maintenance entirely.
It really could. Fewer replacements, lower running costs, potentially. It's a fascinating side effect of high-performance EV tech trickling down.
Okay, and speaking of tech, making life easier. Let's talk about the wireless charging. That feels like the ultimate convenience feature.
It really is peak convenience, isn't it? Like charging your phone, but, for your car.
So how does it work?
It uses a ground plate module, a GPM. That's the charging pad you'd install on your garage floor, for example.
Right.
And the car has a receiving plate underneath. You just park over it.
And it starts charging automatically. How much power does it transfer?
It's 11 kilowatts wirelessly. So it's not as fast as plugging into a DC fast charger, obviously, but the point is the absolute lack of effort.
You just park and walk away.
Exactly. And they've thought about the alignment too. There's a guide on the dashboard, kind of like a video game, to help you position the car perfectly over the pad.
That's clever. And what about safety? Inductive charging, high power, any risks?
They built in a crucial safety feature. If any living thing, like a cat or a dog, wanders near the charging pad while it's active,
it cuts off?
Immediately shuts down the power transfer. That's absolutely essential given the energy involved. It's that blend, again, immense power, but also sophisticated, safe, user-friendly tech.
Okay, so you have supercar acceleration, convenient charging.
Yeah.
But how do you make a 2.5-ton vehicle actually handle? How do you stop it feeling like, well, a boat in the corners?
That's probably the single most impressive bit of engineering outside the drivetrain. The Porsche Active Ride system.
Active ride. Break that down for us.
Okay, so instead of traditional suspension where components are linked, think of each wheel having its own independent active air suspension unit.
Each corner doing its own thing.
Precisely. Each one can raise or lower itself thousands of times a second, completely independently. It's actively counteracting the forces acting on the car.
So it's predicting and canceling out body roll before it even happens.
That's the idea. It works to keep the car's body perfectly level and parallel to the road no matter what you're doing, accelerating, braking, cornering hard, even off-road.
Like the car's floating.
Almost. The goal is to basically neutralize the sensation of weight transfer and body roll. You just feel flat.
And the anecdotes seem to back that up.
Yeah.
People driving it said they took tight corners at speed and felt virtually zero lean.
Which is pretty mind-bending for a vehicle this size and weight. And complementing that, you have rear-wheel steering.
Ah, yes, the rear wheels turn too. How much?
Up to 5 degrees. Which doesn't sound like much, but it makes a huge difference.
How so?
Well, below 100 kilometers per hour, the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction to the fronts.
Making it turn tighter.
Exactly. It dramatically shrinks the turning circle, makes maneuvering in tight spaces, like parking lots, much easier. It feels way more agile than it should.
And above 100 kilometer.
They turn in the same direction as the front wheels, parallel.
For stability.
Yes. Enhances stability during high-speed lane changes or sweeping corners. It's this combination active ride plus rear-wheel steering that allows it to handle like a much smaller vehicle on track, but also tackle some pretty extreme off-road stuff. They showed it climbing an insane 80-degree incline.
80 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move inside then. Because the interior seems just as radical a departure. It sounds like screens everywhere.
It's a very digital-heavy environment, yes. You're surrounded by displays. The traditional instrument cluster is gone, replaced by a big customizable screen.
And the center screen, that sounds special. The 3D glass flow display.
Yeah, that's the centerpiece. It's a curved OLED screen, and the design makes it look like it's sort of floating off the dashboard. Uses this unique bent glass.
And it's highly customizable.
Very. Uses a widget-based system, very modern, very slick. But what's really interesting is that the passenger gets their own screen, too.
A dedicated passenger display, what's that for?
Entertainment, mostly. They can watch videos, YouTube, maybe even play games if they connect a controller.
Ah, so they can be entertained without distracting the driver.
That's the idea. It's designed so the driver can't easily see the passenger's screen content. Safety first.
I do like that they haven't gone completely touchscreen, though. Some physical controls remain, and that little detail, the very pad.
The very pad is such a simple, smart touch. It's basically just a little padded rest for your hand below the main screen.
Yeah.
So when you're driving, especially if it's bumpy, you can anchor your hand there to make more precise inputs on the touchscreen. Stops your finger bouncing around.
That's actually genius. Someone clearly drove this thing on real roads.
Right. It shows they understand the limitations of touchscreens in a moving car. And yeah, they kept physical buttons for the main climate controls, temperature, fan speed. Smart move.
Good. And other comfort connectivity things.
Oh, yeah. The central armrest is heated, which is nice. And inside that center console, there's a big storage area with 4 USB-C ports.
Oh,
4. And each one is capable of putting out 100 watts.
wow. So you could charge multiple laptops at full speed simultaneously.
Pretty much. Very much geared towards the modern connected user.
Okay, let's wrap up with some of the other cool tech ambiance, aerodynamics. Starting with that roof, the electrochromic roof.
Yeah, advanced smart glass. The whole panoramic roof can switch from fully transparent to fully opaque or stages in between just with a software command.
Instant tinting.
Basically, yeah. But the really clever part is that it's segmented.
Yeah.
Meaning the front passengers and the rear passengers can choose different levels of opacity. So you could have it clear up front, but tinted in the back for shade or privacy.
That's quite flexible. Now, outside, the test cars were camouflaged, but people still spotted some aero details.
Definitely. You could see active flaps, probably similar to the ones on the 911 GTS.
What do?
They open and close automatically to manage airflow, either directing air towards the battery and motors for cooling when needed.
Or closing up to make the car slipperier.
Exactly. Closing up to reduce drag and improve efficiency at higher speeds.
And there was that rumor, too, about something more exotic, the aero flaps.
Ah, yes, the mystery flaps. The rumor is that there might be additional flaps, maybe on the sides of the car, that deploy only during launch control.
Just for maximum acceleration.
Yeah, the idea would be to further streamline the car's shape for those absolute maximum acceleration runs, reducing drag even more for that initial sprint. Still just a rumor, but fascinating if true.
And finally, a couple of quick control details. The steering wheel.
Looks like it's lifted from the 911.
Yeah.
Includes that push-to-pass button.
For a temporary power boost.
Yep, gives you about 10 seconds of extra juice for overtaking. And in the back, the rear seats are fully powered. You can adjust them for comfort or fold them down for more cargo space just using buttons.
So putting it all together, this electric transition wasn't a compromise for the Cayenne.
Not at all. It feels like they've used electrification to create a completely new kind of performance SUV. I mean, think about it. Over 1,000 horsepower and wireless charging in the same vehicle. It's pushing the boundaries of what an SUV can be, forcing it into genuine supercar territory in terms of tech and performance.
A really impressive package. Okay, so for you, the listener, chewing over all this tech, here's something to think about. We talked about the Formula E recuperation-saving brake pads. But what else could that level of energy recovery unlock in the future? Could it fundamentally change how we think about vehicle weight? Or maybe even enable different kinds of sustained high-performance driving? Something to ponder. We'll leave it there for this deep dive. Until next time.